Hi, I'm Kyle, and welcome to Bedtime Verses with Kyle. Just a little poetry to help you get ready for bed. Today we're continuing with Edmund Spenser, and we're moving on to a section called The Mask of Cupid. Let's see. It's kind of a parade. An interesting parade that may or may not include some of the sins. Let's have a read. The Mask of Cupid. The first was Fancy, like a lovely boy, of rare aspect and beauty without peer, matchable either to that imp of Troy, whom Jove did love, and chose his cup to bear, or that same dainty lad, which was so dear to great Alcides, that when as he died, he wailed woman-like with many a tear, and every wood and every valley wide he filled with Hylas' name, the nymphs eke Hylas cried. His garment neither was of silk nor say, but painted plumes in goodly order dight, like as the sunburnt Indians do array their tawny bodies in the proudest plight. As those same plumes, so seemed he vain and light, that by his gait might easily appear, for still he fared as dancing in delight, and in his hand a windy fan did bear, that in the idle air he moved still here and there. And him beside marched amorous Desire, who seemed of riper years than t'other swain. It was that other swain, this elder's sire, and gave him being, commune to them twain. His garment was disguised very vain, and his embroidered bonnet set awry. Twixt both his hands few sparks he close did strain, which still he blew, and kindled busily, that soon they life conceived, and forth in flames did fly. Next after him went Doubt, who was he clad in a discoloured coat of strange disguise, that at his back a broad capuccio had, and sleeves depended Albanese-wise. He looked askew with his mistrustful eyes, and nicely trode, as thorns lay in his way, or that the floor to shrink he did advise, and on a broken reed he still did stay, his feeble steps would shrunk, when hard thereon he lay. With him went Danger, clothed in ragged weed, made of bear skin, that him more dreadful made. Yet his own face was dreadful, nay did need strange horror to deform his grisly shade. A net in the one hand, and a rusty blade in t'other was, this mischief, that mishap. With the one his foes he threatened to invade, with the other he his friends meant to enwrap, for whom he could not kill he practised to entrap. Next him was Fear, all armed from top to toe, yet thought himself not safe enough thereby, but feared each shadow moving to and fro, and his own arms, when glittering he did spy, or clashing heard, he fast away did fly, as ashes pale of hue, and wingy heeled, and evermore on Danger fixed his eye, gainst whom he always bent a brazen shield, which his right hand unarmed fearfully did wield. With him went Hope in rank, a handsome maid, of cheerful look and lovely to behold. In silken samite she was light arrayed, and her fair locks were woven up in gold. She always smiled, and in her hand did hold an holy water sprinkle, dipped in dew, with which she sprinkled favours manifold, on whom she list, and did great liking show, great liking unto many, but true love to few. And after them Dissemblance and Suspect marched in one rank, yet an unequal pair, for she was gentle and of mild aspect, courteous to all, and seeming debonair, goodly adorned and exceeding fair, yet was that all but painted and purloined, and her bright brows were decked with borrowed hair. Her deeds were forged, and her words false coined, and always in her hand two clues of silk she twined. But he was foul, ill-favoured, and grim, under his eyebrows looking still askance, and ever as dissemblance laughed on him, he lowered on her with dangerous eye-glance, showing his nature in his countenance. His rolling eyes did never rest in place, but walked each where for fear of hid mischance, holding a lattice still before his face, through which he still did peep, as forward he did pace. Next him went Grief, and Fury matched he Fear. Grief all in sable sorrowfully clad, down hanging his dull head with heavy cheer, yet inly being more than seeming sad. A pair of pincers in his hand he had, with which he pinched people to the heart, that from thenceforth a wretched life they led, in wilful anger and consuming smart, dying each day with inward wounds of dolour's dart. But Fury was full ill apparelled, in rags that naked nigh she did appear, with ghastly looks and dreadful drearyhead, for from her back her garments she did tear, and from her head oft rent her snarled hair. In her right hand a firebrand she did toss, about her head, still roaming here and there, as a dismayed deer in chase embossed, forgetful of his safety, hath his right way lost. After them went Displeasure and Pleasance, he looking lumpish and full sullen sad, and hanging down his heavy countenance, she cheerful fresh, and full of joyance glad, as if no sorrow she ne felt ne dread. That evil matched pair they seemed to be, an angry wasp the one in a vial had, the other in hers an honey lady be. Thus marched these 6 couples forth in fair degree. Sounds like a few parties I've been to. Thanks again for joining me for Bedtime Verses with Kyle. You can follow me here or find me on my YouTube or my website, and there'll be new readings every weekday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night. Sleep tight.